You've watched hundreds of videos before, but this one feels different because deep inside, you know it's time for something real, a restart that truly matters. Welcome to Soulful English, where you don't just learn words, you learn how to rebuild yourself from the inside out through powerful, real transformation. What you're about to hear is not just information or another motivational speech that fades after a few hours. It's a complete rebuild of your mind, emotions, habits, and life. Right now, maybe you feel broken, tired, or disconnected from who you used to be, and every day starts to look the same no matter how much you try to change. You may feel like you've lost time, lost hope, or lost focus. And sometimes it feels like your best years slipped away while you were too busy surviving. But this moment is different because this video, this voice, this message could be your turning point. The day you stop waiting and start rebuilding. We're not waiting for next week or next year. We're not chasing perfect timing or perfect motivation because your change begins today. Right now, and yes, it might sound impossible, but that's the beauty of it, because real transformation doesn't wait for permission. It starts the moment you decide to act. We're going to rebuild your life in one day using 12 powerful and practical steps that reshape how you think, feel, and live every single day. These steps are not here to make you feel good for 5 minutes. They're here to silence the noise, clean the chaos, and rebuild the strength inside you. You'll take back control of your thoughts, your focus, your time, and your emotions because the power to restart was always in your hands. And if you're learning English, this journey helps you even more because every word here is simple, clear, and chosen to help you grow in language and life. You'll improve your listening, your vocabulary, and your confidence while healing your mindset and reconnecting with the person you're meant to become. So listen closely, watch carefully, pause when something hits you, and repeat the moments that feel like truth, because every second here is part of your rebirth. If something changes in you, even just one small thing, don't leave it unfinished. Subscribe to Soulful English and keep walking toward your transformation. Now, take a deep breath and be present, because this is the first page of your new chapter, the start of your real life. Step 1. Ask yourself the hardest question. Let me ask you something simple but serious. What's not working in your life right now? I'm not asking what annoyed you today or what made you angry this morning. I'm asking something deeper, something that keeps repeating silently inside you. What's the one part of your life that feels broken? The part that steals your peace every day, even when you try to ignore it. Most people never fix their lives, not because they're lazy or weak, but because they never stop to ask the right question that leads to truth. They try to fix their habits, fix their mood, fix their routine, but they never pause to ask, what's the real reason I feel stuck? Until you ask the right question, you'll keep giving yourself the wrong answer, calling exhaustion peace and fear laziness. You'll say, I'm tired, but deep down you're heartbroken. You'll say, I'm lazy. But in truth, you're overwhelmed and afraid to fail again. Here's the truth no one tells you. You cannot fix your life unless you're brutally honest about what's broken inside you. Think about Ethan, a man who wakes up late every morning, scrolls through his phone, skips breakfast, rushes to work, and ends each day feeling empty. He eats junk food, watches videos until 2 in the morning, and promises himself tomorrow will be different. But deep down, he knows it won't. He thinks, I just need better sleep, less phone time, more motivation. But the real question he avoids is, why do I feel like my life is meaningless? That's the root, the real crack in the wall. While the phone, the food, and the fatigue are just the surface symptoms of a deeper wound. So one day, Ethan stops everything, sits alone in silence with only a notebook and his truth, ready to finally face himself. He writes at the top of the page, "What's not working in my life?" And he just stares at it. No phone, no music, no escape. And slowly, real answers appear. I'm lonely. I don't respect my life. I'm not proud of who I've become. And for the first time, he feels awake. That's where change begins. When you face the truth instead of running from it, when you stop pretending everything is fine, because when you ask the right question, you finally give yourself permission to fix the real problem hiding underneath the excuses. Now it's your turn. Find a notebook or open a note on your phone and write this question. What's not working in my life? Be honest. No one is watching. No one is judging. This is your private conversation with yourself, your moment of clarity. Write everything that comes, even the things you're ashamed to admit, because the truth you avoid is the one that keeps you stuck. Are you living someone else's dream? Are you still carrying pain from your past? Are you afraid to dream again because you failed before? Maybe you're wasting time just to avoid your own thoughts. Maybe you're chasing distractions so you don't have to feel. Write it all down. No filters, no excuses, because the more honest you are, the stronger this first step becomes. Your life is like a house. You can decorate it, paint the walls, buy new furniture, but if the foundation is cracked, it will collapse again. This step is about digging deep into that foundation, finding the hidden crack, facing it, and saying, "This ends today. I'm not ignoring this anymore." Don't rush to the next step yet. Sit for 5 minutes. Breathe. Look within. And write down what's really broken. Feel it, accept it, and tell yourself, I'm done hiding. I'm done lying to myself. This is where I start again. Because once you face what's real, everything begins to change. And that is the first moment of true freedom. Step 2, identify the root, not the excuse. Most people never fix their lives because they keep fixing the wrong problems again and again without realizing it. They say, I'll sleep better, I'll stop scrolling, I'll work out, I'll quit junk food. But after a few days, they quit everything. Why? Because they were treating symptoms, not causes. They were fixing results, not reasons. And that's why nothing ever changed. If your roof is leaking and you just keep cleaning the floor, the water will always come back. You don't need a towel, you need repair. Your life works the same way. The sadness, the fear, the laziness, the anger, they are not the problem. They are the signals. They are symptoms of something deeper inside you. The invisible force that shapes how you think, feel, and act. Until you find that root cause, you'll stay stuck in the same loop. No matter how motivated you feel today, the root is the hidden belief that controls your mind, the one you accepted long ago without even realizing it. It could be a childhood memory, a wound that never healed, a lie you told yourself, or a fear you've been carrying for years. And just like a tree, the root is underground, unseen but powerful. If the root is sick, the fruit will always be rotten. That's why this step is about digging deeper, going underground, and facing what's truly controlling your life. Let me tell you about Julia. She's 29, full of dreams, but every year she starts strong and quits after 2 weeks. She makes big plans to get fit, wake up early, stop watching Netflix, focus on success. But somehow, it always ends the same. She tells herself, I'm lazy. But deep down, she knows that's not the full truth. Something else is holding her back. One day, her friend asks, Why do you always stop right when things are going well? Julia pauses, reflects, and remembers something painful. When she was a little girl, her father said, Don't try big things. You'll fail like always. And those words became her belief. That one sentence lived inside her brain for 20 years, whispering, "If I try too hard, I'll fail again, and it will hurt." So she stopped trying before she could fail. She stayed small, safe, unseen, all because of an invisible message from the past. That was her root. Not laziness, but fear. Fear born from an old wound that still controlled her choices. Now think about yourself. What if the reason you can't move forward isn't weakness, but something deeper that still owns your mind? It might be a voice from the past, a person who told you you'd never make it, a failure you never forgave yourself for. Take one problem in your life. I waste time. I can't focus. I'm angry. And start asking why. But don't stop at the first answer. For example, I waste time because I'm lazy. Why are you lazy? Because I'm tired? Why are you tired? Because nothing excites me. And why doesn't anything excite you? Because I don't believe what I do really matters. Now, you're close to the root. You must go deeper, beyond the surface excuses, into the fifth or sixth layer where the truth finally reveals itself. You need to become a detective of your own life, uncovering the hidden belief that quietly controls your thoughts and actions. Excuse, I can't focus. Root, I'm scared of failure, so I distract myself. Excuse, I don't like reading. Root, I was told I'm not smart, so I avoid anything that makes me feel dumb. Excuse, I don't like people. Root, I was betrayed once, so I protect myself by staying alone. Excuse, I have anger issues. Root, I feel unheard, so I scream to feel powerful. Everything you do, everything you avoid, and every emotion you feel comes from somewhere. And that somewhere is your root. Go back to what you wrote in step 1. Take one problem from your list and go deeper with this exercise. Write this sentence 5 times with different endings. The real reason I struggle with is because. Here's an example. The real reason I struggle with discipline is because I'm scared of disappointing myself. The real reason I struggle with discipline is because I don't believe I'm capable. The real reason I struggle with discipline is because I've always failed before. The real reason I struggle with discipline is because I compare myself to perfect people online. The real reason I struggle with discipline is because no one ever believed in me. By the 4th or 5th answer, you'll feel it, that emotional hit that makes your chest heavy. That's your root. It might hurt. You might cry. That's okay. Pain means truth is finally speaking after years of silence. When you face the root, you take away its power, and for the first time, you understand what's been breaking you all along. You can't fix your life in one day unless you face the root that's been shaping it for years. Excuses are loud, but truth is quiet, waiting for you to listen with courage. Dig deep. Stay honest. Don't fear what you find, because what you find will set you free. Once you hold the root in your hands, you can finally plant something new, something real, something alive. Step 3. The mirror rule. There are 2 versions of you. One is the outside version everyone sees, and the other is the inside version that only you truly know. You can lie to others. You can wear a smile to hide your pain. You can post beautiful pictures while feeling empty inside. But there's one person you can never lie to, the one staring back at you in the mirror every morning. The mirror doesn't care about excuses or stories. It doesn't care how others see you. It simply shows the truth. Raw and honest. And that's why most people avoid it. Not because it's glass, but because it reflects everything they've been running from. This is why people scroll endlessly, stay busy, fill their minds with noise, anything to escape facing their own reflection. Because when you look directly into your own eyes, one question begins to rise. Am I proud of the person I've become? This step is not about self-help. It's about self-confrontation, the kind of honesty that hurts but heals. True transformation doesn't start when you change habits. It starts when you stop running from your reflection and face it head on. Think about a warrior's sword. After every battle, it's covered with dirt, blood, and scratches. It doesn't shine anymore. When the warrior wants to see if his blade is still strong, he doesn't shake it or guess. He lifts it toward the light and looks at the reflection. That reflection tells the truth. If it's bent, it won't cut. If it's cracked, it will break. If it's dull, it needs sharpening. The sword doesn't speak, but the reflection reveals everything. You are that warrior, and your mirror is your truth. Every day, you battle time, fear, doubt, and comparison, and the mirror shows the result of those battles without mercy. You can't rebuild your life in one day unless you first look directly at who's holding the sword. So here's what you do. Stand in front of a mirror. No music, no filters, no background distractions. Just silence and truth. Don't look at your hair, your skin, or your face. Look into your eyes. Really look until you feel the emotions you've been hiding. Stay there. Don't run. Don't speak yet. Just breathe and let yourself feel everything. The guilt, the shame, the disappointment, the wasted time. Let the silence break you open. Because this moment is not punishment. It's the beginning of rebirth. You must speak to yourself, because the words you say to your reflection are more powerful than any quote, book, or video. Here are words you can say slowly, clearly, truthfully. I know I've failed, but I am not a failure. I have lied to myself, but from today, I choose honesty. I've been weak, but I'm ready to become strong. I accept who I've been, but I'm not staying there. I still have time. I still have breath. I still have power. This isn't magic or fake affirmation. It's a declaration of war against the version of you that has lived in fear and regret. When you speak truth into your reflection, your brain wakes up. It shifts from autopilot to awareness, from shame to action. Your mind begins to separate the old version that suffers from the new version that's ready to rise. Your voice becomes command. Your words become belief, and your reflection becomes the proof that change is real. If you skip this step, you'll collect knowledge but stay unchanged, nodding your head but still hiding behind a mask. This step removes the mask. It aligns you with the most important person in your life, yourself. Because if you can't look yourself in the eyes and speak with truth, you'll keep looking at the world for validation. So do this. Go to your bathroom mirror or open your front camera, set a timer for 3 minutes, and stare into your own eyes. Say out loud, "This is the last day I lie to myself. I'm ready to rebuild. I am not who I was yesterday." Speak it slowly, even if you feel nothing. Keep speaking. You're not changing how you look. You're changing who you are inside. When you finally face yourself, you do something 99% of people never have the courage to do. You meet your truth. The mirror isn't your enemy. It's your first friend in healing. It shows not just your pain, but your strength and desire to fight. The day you start talking to the mirror is the day you stop begging the world to talk back to you. Because the mirror reflects not only your fears, but also your light, your courage, and your potential to rise again. Step 4. Fluency. Most people wake up each morning with the dream of changing their entire life. But by lunchtime, they're already tired, distracted, and lost again. They try to control 24 hours at once, but real change never starts with a day. It starts with one single hour. This hour is your battlefield, the space where your discipline is tested and where victory begins. Imagine a huge forest filled with thousands of dead trees. It's dark, silent, and lifeless, and you want to bring it back to life. You can't plant 10,000 trees today. You can't water the entire forest. but you can focus on one small piece of ground. You clear that spot, prepare the soil, plant one seed, and protect it with all your heart for 1 hour. You give it sunlight, attention, and patience. You keep the crows away and stay focused as if that single seed decides your future. That's how rebirth begins, not with everything, but with one small, sacred act of focus. Your mind is that forest, and this 1 hour is your seed. What you give it today decides what grows tomorrow. So choose 1 hour and make it sacred. This hour is not for scrolling, not for notifications, not for noise, only for you. Focus on one meaningful task. Protect your attention like it's something holy. Because in truth, it is. It doesn't matter what you do. Clean one room, write one page, study one lesson, walk outside, or simply sit and think clearly. What matters is how you do it, with full presence, full intention, and full control of your energy. When you finish that hour, something powerful happens inside you. You start believing in yourself again, not because someone told you you're capable, but because you proved it to your own mind through action. That's how confidence is built, not from compliments or luck, but from winning small battles that no one else sees. Here's how you win the hour step by step. Choose a time today and make it sacred. Set a timer. Choose one task. Just one. Not 5, not 3, not even 2. One task that matters right now. One step that moves your life forward. Remove every distraction. Turn off your phone completely, not silent, not airplane mode, off. Leave it in another room. This is war, and your focus is the weapon. When the timer starts, begin, and don't stop until it ends. Stay with your task. Stay with your breath. Stay with yourself. Nothing else matters for those 60 minutes. When the timer ends, don't post it online. Don't tell anyone. Just sit in silence and say, I won my first battle today. That simple victory resets something powerful inside your brain. It rebuilds your relationship with time, discipline, and peace. Because time isn't your enemy. Your phone isn't your enemy. Even your emotions aren't your enemy. The real enemy is the belief that you can't control yourself. That's the lie you've been living with for years. This 1 hour proves otherwise. It shows your mind that you're not powerless. You just needed a clear battlefield. You don't need to win the whole year today. You just need to win 1 hour. And then tomorrow, win another. Each victory builds strength. And one day, you'll look back and realize you rebuilt your entire life 1 hour at a time. Winning 1 hour teaches your brain to trust you again. It tells your mind, I follow through. I keep promises to myself. That trust becomes your foundation, stronger than motivation, stronger than emotion, stronger than fear. So start today. Pick your hour. Protect it. Win it. Because that single hour could be the moment your whole life begins to shift. Step 5. Write it, burn it, let it die. Some versions of you must be buried before the new version can rise. Inside your mind are old files, memories, and emotions that keep you trapped. Some of them are beautiful, but others are poison. Thoughts that whisper, you're not enough. You always quit. No one truly cares about you. Those whispers don't shout. They quietly drain your strength, running in the background like invisible programs shaping your mood every day. You can't build a powerful life while those voices keep repeating their lies. You have to silence them completely, not with words, but with fire. Think of a mirror in an old temple, once clear and shining, but now covered with dust, smoke, and fingerprints after years of neglect. You want to see your true reflection, but no matter how hard you look, all you see is fog. Would you stare at that forever? No. You would take a cloth and clean it. That's what this step is. cleaning your mental mirror so you can finally see yourself again. Not with silence, not by ignoring, but by writing and burning, the most ancient way to release what no longer belongs to you. Here's how it works. Take a pen and a blank page. Find a quiet space where no one can interrupt you. Write down every dark thought, every painful memory, every lie that still hurts, the things you never said out loud. Write the guilt, the shame, the failures, the regrets, the broken promises, the names, the moments that still live inside you. Be brutally honest. Don't make it sound nice. Don't fix grammar or spelling. Just let it pour out exactly as it feels. When you're done, read it once quietly. Let your heart feel every word. Then, burn it safely. Watch the paper darken, the ink fade, the smoke rise, and feel the release as the old version of you turns to ashes. When you write a thought, you take it out of your mind and put it into the world. When you burn it, you tell your brain, this story ends here. It's not superstition, it's psychology. Your mind registers this act as closure, a visible symbol that you're no longer tied to that past. You begin to let go, not only emotionally, but biologically. Your nervous system calms, your breathing slows, your body relaxes. If you don't know what to write, begin like this. I forgive myself for, I hate that I still carry the voice of, I fear that I will always. Each sentence opens a locked door in your mind, releasing what you've been holding for years. It may hurt, but the pain means freedom. As you burn those words, imagine the old version of you dissolving, the one that carried guilt, fear, and doubt for far too long. Watch the smoke rise and whisper, you no longer control me. I am done carrying you. This is not about destruction. It's about rebirth. Because sometimes, before you can grow, you must hold a funeral for who you used to be. You cannot build a new life while feeding old pain. You cannot walk forward while dragging ghosts behind you. The burn is not just about fire, it's about freedom. The quiet liberation that comes when you stop replaying stories that hurt you. Do it today, not later, not someday, today. Even if it's just one paragraph, one page, or one sentence that needs to die. Because what you release today makes space for what's coming tomorrow. And what's coming is peace, clarity, and a new identity. When the last piece of paper turns to ash, breathe deeply. You'll feel lighter, not empty, but alive. That's the moment you'll realize this truth. You didn't lose yourself. You were just buried beneath too many unspoken words. Now, you are free. Now, you are clean. Now, the new you can finally begin to breathe. Step 6. Focus on one thing only. In a world that screams for your attention, do more. Chase everything. Multitask all day. Your mind becomes a crowded room of noise and confusion. You open one tab, then another, and another, until your brain feels full, but nothing is truly finished. That's not productivity, that's chaos. You don't need more goals. You don't need more motivation. You need focus. Pure, sharp, unshakable focus on what truly matters right now. Because your brain was never designed to do everything at once. It was designed to go deep. One thing at a time, with clarity and presence. When you focus on one thing, your energy multiplies. You become faster, clearer, and calmer because your attention is no longer divided. Think of a flashlight and a laser. A flashlight lights up a room but cannot cut through anything. A laser, though narrow, can cut through steel. That's the difference between a scattered life and a focused life. You are not meant to be a flashlight. You are meant to be a laser. Your thoughts, time, and energy must move toward one direction at a time because focus is what turns effort into power. When you work, just work. When you read, just read. When you rest, just rest. Presence is the hidden superpower of transformation. Focus means telling your mind, this is the only thing that matters right now, and guarding that choice like it's sacred. So, choose one task for today, not 5, not 3, 1. Something meaningful, something you can finish completely. Close all other tabs. Put away your other lists. Silence the apps that beg for your attention and drain your energy without giving anything back. Set a timer. Even 25 focused minutes can change how your mind feels about discipline and control. When distractions come, and they will, don't fight them with anger. Just breathe and gently return to what you're doing. Finish the task fully before you switch to anything else. Because half-finished work creates anxiety, but completion builds confidence. Every time you complete something, no matter how small, your brain celebrates. It rewards you with belief. I can do this. I follow through. That belief becomes your new fuel, stronger than motivation, because motivation fades, but self-trust stays. Focus is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it grows. The more you protect it, the more it protects your peace. Most people fail not because they're weak or untalented, but because they keep stopping and starting, never finishing what they begin. Focus is the bridge between ideas and results, between dreams and reality. Without it, even the best plans collapse. So if you want to rebuild your life in one day, prove to yourself that you can stay with something until it's done. Even if it's small, even if it's quiet, finish it. Because the strength to focus is the strength to lead your own life again. When you end your day, don't count how many things you started, count how many you completed. That's where transformation begins. You don't need 100 actions. You need one clear, honest effort, done with your full heart, your full attention, and your full presence. Because when your mind learns to focus on one thing, the noise fades, the confusion disappears, and peace finally returns. And in that silence, you'll find your power, not in doing more, but in doing what matters with everything you have. Step 7. Detach from the outcome and love the process. Here's the truth. Most people don't fail because they can't succeed. They fail because they quit when results don't come fast enough. They want the reward before the work, the proof before the progress, the victory before the patience. That's the trap that kills growth. You start something, you work hard, but when the results don't appear in a week, you give up and call yourself unlucky or unmotivated. But real change doesn't come to the impatient, it comes to the consistent. To those who fall in love with the process, not the prize. Because when you chase results, you create pressure, but when you love the process, you create peace, and peace leads to growth. Think about it. The real winners in life aren't the fastest or the smartest. They're the ones who keep showing up long after the noise fades. They work quietly, they trust time, and they find meaning in the small, invisible progress that no one else sees. Imagine a mountain climber standing at the bottom, looking up at a distant peak covered in clouds. The top seems unreachable. He starts climbing. Soon, the fog covers everything. He can't see the top anymore. His hands hurt. His legs shake. His breath burns. If he climbs only for the peak, he'll give up. But if he climbs because climbing itself makes him stronger, he'll keep moving forward. That's what it means to love the process, to see the journey itself as success. Even when the finish line is hidden, detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough to keep going, even without constant reward. You stop saying, if this doesn't work in 3 days, I'll quit. And you start saying, even if it takes 300, I'll stay consistent. Because the moment you stop measuring your progress by speed, you start measuring it by strength. And that's when real transformation begins. Choose one area in your life that feels slow. Maybe your health, your habit, or your healing. Stop checking the results every hour. Stop asking, is it working? And start asking, am I showing up? Because showing up is already success. When you read, just read. When you write, just write. When you grow, just grow, without watching the clock or counting the days. Trust the invisible work. Just because you can't see the top doesn't mean you're not climbing. Progress doesn't always look loud. Most people aren't tired. They're discouraged. They confuse unseen progress with no progress at all. And that's why they stop too early. But if you keep going quietly, faithfully, your results will show up at the exact moment you no longer need proof. This step frees you from pressure, from comparison, from the emotional roller coaster of constant checking and doubting. Once you stop depending on outcomes for happiness, you take back your power. You become unshakable because effort itself becomes joy. Now you're not chasing something, you're becoming someone. And that shift changes everything. Detach from the scoreboard, let go of the timeline. Don't rush the process that's trying to shape you. You don't need to see the entire path. You only need to take the next step with full presence and full heart. Because the person who walks without quitting eventually becomes the person who wins, even without applause. Step 8. Accept that change is uncomfortable and necessary. Everyone says they want change, but deep down, they want comfort inside change. They want growth without pain, transformation without discomfort. They want a new life, but they don't want to feel fear. They want new habits, but they don't want to face awkward beginnings. They want a new identity, but they don't want to let go of the old one. And that's why most people stay stuck for years. Not because they're weak, but because they misunderstand what real change feels like. Real change isn't smooth, it's messy, it's uncomfortable. It feels like confusion, emptiness, fear, and sometimes sadness. But that's not failure. That's the feeling of growth trying to push through resistance. Think about a snake. As it grows, its skin becomes tight, dry, and itchy. It doesn't hate its old skin. That skin protected it once. But if the snake doesn't shed it, it can't survive. So it finds a sharp rock and starts rubbing, twisting, scraping off the old skin. It's painful, slow, and vulnerable. But that's the only way it can grow into the next version of itself. Now imagine that skin is your old self, your old habits, your old fears, your old identity that no longer fits who you're becoming. And that rock, the sharpness, is your discomfort. It hurts, but it's shaping you into something stronger, freer, more alive. You'll feel awkward when starting new habits. You'll feel doubt when speaking new truths. You'll feel lonely walking away from old people. You'll feel empty when you remove distractions. You'll feel exposed when you stop pretending. But that's not pain. That's proof you're changing. You're losing your old skin. You're losing your comfort zone. And yes, it feels strange, but it means you're finally becoming new. When discomfort comes, pause. Don't escape it. Don't numb it. Don't scroll your phone to silence it. Just breathe and stay for 5 minutes. Say to yourself, this is not pain. This is progress. I am becoming someone new. Stay with it until the fear starts to soften. Because if you can stay through discomfort, you'll grow through it. The ones who win in life aren't the most talented. They're the most patient with pain. Your discomfort is not punishment. It's preparation. It's the sound of your old limits breaking and your new strength being born. Every time you feel that tension, that resistance, whisper to yourself, this is not the end. This is birth. Let discomfort teach you. Let it shape you. Let it strip away everything that no longer belongs to your future. Comfort never built warriors. Discomfort did. Growth always speaks the language of pressure and unease. If you can learn to sit calmly inside that pressure, You'll become unstoppable. You'll no longer be afraid of change. You'll crave it. Because deep down, you'll realize the truth. The pain you feel today is the evidence that you're alive, growing and becoming. So when life feels heavy, when your heart feels stretched, remember, this is the sound of your old limits breaking. You're not falling apart. You're breaking open, and the light always enters through the cracks. Step 9. Find proof of the new you. You've done the work. You've faced your pain. You've cleaned your past and started rebuilding your habits. But now, doubt starts whispering again. It says, maybe this won't last. Maybe you're just pretending. Maybe you'll fall back into old habits again. And if you listen to that voice long enough, it will steal your confidence before the new you has a chance to grow. The only way to silence doubt is with evidence. You don't need motivation right now. You need proof. Small, visible proof that you're changing. Think of a builder laying bricks. On the first day, it looks like nothing. On the second, still nothing. But after a week, a wall begins to appear. Each brick looks small, but together, they create something undeniable, a structure that didn't exist before. That's proof. That's how your transformation works. Every small action, every good choice, every moment of discipline, they're all bricks in your new identity. You no longer have to say, I hope I'm changing. You'll be able to say, look, I'm changing. Proof replaces hope with confidence. You don't need to be perfect. You just need visible signs of growth that your brain can recognize as progress. Because when your brain sees proof, it starts believing. This is real. This is working. I am becoming someone new. Examples of proof? You wake up without hitting snooze. You focus for 1 hour without checking your phone. You finish what you start. You speak kindly to yourself in the mirror. You make a better choice even when no one is watching. You pause before reacting in anger. Each one of these moments is a brick. Each one tells your brain, I'm not who I used to be. To build proof, create a simple ritual. Get a notebook or a blank note on your phone and title it Proof of the New Me every night before you sleep. Write down 3 things you did differently today. They don't have to be big. They just have to be real. Look at that list every night. Over time, you'll start to see a pattern of growth, discipline, and self-respect. That's how identity builds, not through goals, but through visible consistency, through proof that no one can take away from you. Because when you can say, I don't just want to change, I have proof I'm changing, your transformation becomes unshakable. You no longer need external validation. You no longer depend on motivation. You have your own evidence of evolution. And when your brain believes, your body follows, your actions align, and your life starts to reflect who you've become inside. Remember this, the world may doubt you, but if you have proof, you won't need anyone's approval. Your proof can be quiet, small, even invisible to others. But to you, it's the loudest sound of progress. Each time you write a win, you erase a doubt. Each time you track a small victory, you silence the voice that says, you'll never change. So keep building your wall, one brick at a time. Keep collecting evidence that you're growing, because when you can see it, you'll believe it. And when you believe it, you'll protect it with everything you have. The new you isn't built in one grand moment. It's built in hundreds of small ones that no one else notices. And that's what makes it real. That's what makes it yours. Step 10. Force yourself to win. There will always be a moment when you don't feel like doing the right thing. You'll wake up tired, unmotivated, and tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes, because waiting for motivation is how you lose momentum. Motivation is a mood. Movement is a decision. And this step is about deciding to move even when every part of you says, not today, because that's when real power begins. Imagine a giant metal door standing in the middle of the desert. It hasn't been opened in years, and the hinges are rusted shut. You push it lightly, and nothing happens. You push again, and it groans, but still doesn't move. Most people stop right there. They say, it's too heavy. It's not meant to open. But if you push harder, lean with your whole body, keep pressing through resistance, the rust breaks. The door finally opens, not because it wanted to, but because you forced it to. That's exactly how your mind works. When your brain says, not today, you have to move anyway. When your emotions say, I'm too tired, you act anyway. You don't feel like going for that walk? Go anyway. You don't want to open your laptop? Open it anyway. You don't want to clean your space? Start with one corner, because the moment you do what you didn't want to do, your brain rewires itself. It says, oh, we're in control now. That's how discipline is born, not from comfort, but from small acts of defiance against your own resistance. You don't need to feel ready. You need to act ready, because feelings follow movement, not the other way around. So here's what you do today. Write this sentence on a piece of paper. I don't wait for energy. I create energy. Put it somewhere you'll see it every day. Your desk, your mirror, your phone wallpaper, a reminder that action comes first. Now, pick one thing you've been avoiding. Set a timer for 2 minutes and just start. Don't overthink. Don't plan. Just move. Once you start, momentum takes over. What begins as 2 minutes often becomes 20 because your brain switches from fear to flow. You don't need 2 hours of motivation. You need 2 minutes of courage. Courage opens the door that fear locked shut. Think of it like a rocket launch. Most of the energy is used in the first few seconds. After that, gravity loses its grip. The hardest part is starting. But once you move, your body finds rhythm, your focus returns, and your emotions catch up. Everyone wants goals, but few people build movement. Everyone talks about change, but few act when it's hard. If you only do the right thing when you feel like it, you'll stay stuck forever. Feelings aren't the problem. Waiting for them is. So, the next time you hear that voice saying, not today, smile and whisper, that means it's exactly today. Then move, because every time you act without permission from your mood, you grow stronger than your excuses. That's how you win, not once, but repeatedly, until discipline becomes your default setting. Force yourself to win today, even in something small, because one small victory today is one less regret tomorrow. Each time you move through resistance, you send a message to your entire being. We don't negotiate with weakness anymore. And when that becomes your identity, when action replaces hesitation, your life changes completely. Discipline isn't punishment. It's self-respect. It's proof that you no longer let your emotions lead your destiny. So move anyway. Begin anyway. Win anyway. Because every small act of movement today plants the seed of unstoppable strength tomorrow. Step 11. Screen off, mood on. You can fix your habits, focus your time, and even build strong routines. But if you don't fix your attention, you'll always return to chaos. The biggest thief of your attention is the screen in your hand, the endless scroll, the notifications, the fake inspiration that drains your soul. Your phone doesn't just distract you, it disconnects you from yourself, from silence, and from the deep thoughts that help you grow. This step is about reclaiming your peace, your focus, and your mood, because without attention, your energy is scattered everywhere but where it matters. Right now, your brain is under attack by alerts, ads, trends, dopamine loops, and noise designed to keep you scrolling instead of living. Every beep, Every pop-up, every scroll takes a piece of your awareness, leaving you more anxious and less alive. Imagine a bright blue sky. Then imagine 1,000 planes flying across it every second, dropping smoke and noise until you can't see the sun anymore. That's your mind under constant digital bombardment, cloudy, restless, and disconnected from clarity. The only way to see clearly again is to ground yourself, turn the noise off, and let silence return. This isn't about deleting your phone. It's about taking back control over what gets access to your thoughts. So, once a day, schedule one sacred hour. No phone, no screen, no notifications, just you, your thoughts, and your breath. You can call it your mood hour. 1 hour of mental silence where your brain can rest, reset, and rebuild its focus. During this hour, walk without music, write without a goal, sit quietly, clean your room in silence, watch the world without a lens in between. At first, it might feel strange or boring, but soon you'll notice something powerful. Your mind starts talking again, but in truth, not noise. You'll notice what you've been avoiding, what you actually want, what fears still live inside you, and what peace really feels like. Silence is not empty. It's full of answers you've been too distracted to hear. When you disconnect from your screen, you reconnect with your soul. You start remembering what matters and who you really are. You'll realize your attention is your most valuable possession, more precious than money, followers, or success, because whatever owns your attention owns your life. And if your phone controls it, then your peace no longer belongs to you. So train your attention like a muscle. Give it silence, give it space, let it breathe again. In that quiet hour, ideas will come, emotions will surface, and clarity will slowly return like sunlight breaking through fog. This is not laziness. This is power. The power to choose what enters your mind and what no longer deserves to stay. 1 hour of stillness a day will do more for your peace than 100 hours of scrolling ever could. If you truly want to rebuild your life in one day, start by rebuilding your attention, because where focus goes, your future grows. So turn your screen off, turn your mood on, and listen, not to the world, but to the quiet voice within that's been waiting to speak. Your silence is your sanctuary. Protect it, and it will protect you. Step 12. Don't think, just do. You've faced your fears. You've asked hard questions. You've cleaned the past, faced the mirror, and rebuilt your focus. But now comes the hardest part, action. Because even after all the progress, your mind will try to pull you back. It will whisper, wait a little longer, think it through, maybe tomorrow. And in that hesitation, dreams die. Overthinking kills more progress than failure ever will. This step is about ending that hesitation forever. You've done enough planning, you've done enough preparing. Now, it's time to move. Boldly, quickly, without overthinking yourself out of action. Think of someone standing on the edge of a rooftop, staring at another building across the gap. A strong rope connects the two. They've trained, practiced balance, visualized every step. But when it's time to move, they freeze. Their mind floods with fear and what-ifs. What if I fall? What if I'm not ready? And the longer they stand there, the weaker they feel. Not because they can't, but because they waited. The mind builds fear faster than it builds courage. Every extra second of thinking gives fear more time to grow. But if they had taken the first step immediately, the body would have followed, balance would have come, and momentum would have carried them forward. That's how overthinking works. The more you wait, the heavier the fear becomes until you're paralyzed by your own hesitation. Your brain is like a rocket. The moment you decide, it builds energy, but the moment you delay, that power turns into anxiety. So when you know what's right, when you know the next step, don't give your fear time to argue. Move, because every second you wait, you lose power. But every second you act, you take that power back. You wake up and think, should I get up or rest 5 more minutes? Don't think, just get up. Should I work out or skip today? Don't think, just start moving. Should I send that message? Don't think, just send it. Should I start writing? Don't think, open the page. Should I clean my room? Don't think, begin now. Action kills fear. Movement creates clarity. Confidence is built by doing, not by planning. When a thought enters your mind and you know it's right, count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. No overthinking, no scrolling, no waiting for perfect timing. Just move before your brain invents excuses. Because the moment you act, hesitation dies. The mind follows the body, not the other way around. Say this to yourself today. I don't need permission to grow. I don't need to feel ready. I need to move. I don't ask fear to vote. I am the only voice that matters. Repeat it until it feels true, until it becomes who you are. You've done the deep work. You've healed, reflected, and rebuilt. Now it's time to live what you've learned. Choose one thing you've been avoiding, a message, a decision, a simple task. Count down from 5 and do it before your brain stops you. When you move now, something powerful rises inside. Not adrenaline, not motivation, but strength, real strength. That strength is your new identity, the version of you who acts, who decides, who leads, the one who doesn't wait for life to change, but changes it. This is how you fix your life, not someday, not when you're ready, but now. So here you are, at the end of something most people never begin. You've walked through pain, truth, focus, and discipline. You've faced yourself, let go of the past, built new habits, and chosen courage over comfort. That's transformation. You are not broken. You are not lost. You were just buried under noise, fear, and hesitation. But today, you dug yourself out. You started again. You moved. You acted. And if you can change your direction in one day, you can change your entire life in 1 year. All it takes is the right start. And this was your start. So keep going. Don't stop now. If this journey moved you, if it helped even 1%, share it. Watch it again. Subscribe to Soulful English, because here, we're not just learning, we're rebuilding identity, discipline, freedom, and peace. One honest step at a time. The next chapter of your life is unwritten, and you're holding the pen. Make it worth it. Now go, don't think, just do. Your life is waiting.